All right. It is 9 o'clock. Happy Friday. Happy rainy Friday. We'll stand up if you don't mind. Finally, it's been a good short week, and I appreciate everybody coming out this morning and checking in. The last Friday of the month of May. Wow, the last 3 months have been the longest year of my life. It's all good. We're excited about starting June off next week, and hopefully June's got great opportunities for us all. Let me do a quick recap. Well, hold on. Housekeeping right quick. Chat box is up and running, so if you have a comment for the group, feel free to put a chat in. If you need something, you can always reach me at cblackstone@columbiachamber.com. But we'll keep this informal today. Not that I've ever been formal, but we'll keep it informal today. And what I thought I'd do is recap a little bit of what's been going on this week, and then I'll take comments or love to hear from y'all what's going on. Couple things this week from a recap perspective. Well, let me tell you, I was really excited. Lou Kennedy with Nephron gave me a shout out about last week, and she's on the Accelerate SC task force, and she had heard what was going on in Charleston and Greenville, and so she called me and Otis Raw at the Lexington Chamber, and she printed out these groovy new signs, Columbia Chamber. So these are new pledges that we're going to offer all businesses in Columbia. We sent this out on Wednesday. But bottom line is we're trying to find a way to build some confidence in the private sector to say, look, if businesses are open, we're ready to serve you. And we want to give people as much comfort as they can to get out and stop shopping again and getting out to restaurants. And so if you are a business and you pledge to follow the CDC and DHEC policies of sanitation, social distancing, and limited capacity restrictions, go on to our website, columbiachamber.com, sign the pledge. We'll get you a poster. The idea really is to create some momentum both in Lexington and in Columbia to get people out and about and show that we're unified. I would note that the city followed suit and they did their own pledge yesterday, but we are appreciative of Nephron and Otis for including the Columbia Chamber. And I think it was a nice touch to have both of us on there and try to build some synergies across the river, because quite frankly, COVID doesn't care what district you live in or what zip code you live in. They're hitting everybody, but we've got to get businesses up and running. So thanks to those. Let's talk about some numbers right quick. If you saw yesterday, we had another 24,000 file for unemployment this week. That's down actually over the last week. But we're still 540,000 people have filed for unemployment since COVID started, which is a huge record. We have a lot of folks have depleted their 20 weeks of unemployment for the week. And so Department of Employee Workforce has extended through emergency procedures additional 13 weeks of unemployment for folks that have utilized all of their time. So just keep that. If you got employees that have been out or currently out, there is some additional help for them. So that's 13 weeks on top of the 20. Okay, just to be clear on that. Some other big news this week. The state newspaper is adding 12 new reporters in South Carolina. Now they're laying off a bunch too, but they're adding 12 new reporters across the state. And so we've got 2 starting next week here in Columbia. They're going to do some business reporters as well as investigative reporters. So I appreciate them recognizing the need that we need good reporting in South Carolina, and especially here in Columbia. So that's good stuff. Let's talk about Accelerate SC, the governor's task force to reopen South Carolina. They came out with 41 recommendations yesterday. I can't find the list, but there were 41. They're going to include funding, how to use the $1.9 billion that the feds are giving South Carolina. They want to do some stuff with the unemployment insurance so it doesn't hit businesses that hard, which would be great. They recommend some type of limited liability for COVID cases, which would be great. Looking at broadband, and we talked about that in the past, especially with if y'all were on with Clyburn. Broadband's a big issue, and I think it's going to finally get the attention that it needs in providing folks that don't have access to broadband have access there. So that's good stuff. They're also going to do some funding for reading and a few other things for education. So they're going to be printing those lists in the next couple of days, I hope, because I've looked for it, but I haven't really been able to find it. The city met, their economic recovery task force met yesterday. I was on for a little while. I had a prior engagement, so I couldn't stay on the whole time, but the city still has a curfew in place for those that are paying attention. We're the only city in the state of South Carolina that's got a curfew. That is set to expire at the end of next week. Okay, so we got another week of the curfew. Other things happened this week. I want to keep this light, but we had a great military outreach meeting on Tuesday of this week, and I want to really thank. We had 3 generals on. We had General Grimsley, who is the new Secretary of Veterans Affairs, General Beagle, and General Van McCarty with the South Carolina National Guard on. And so it's not many opportunities that we have to bring 3 generals on to talk, and they did a good job, but very excited to meet General Grimsley, and he's got a lot of energy and going to help reestablish that Veterans Affairs office. So that's good stuff. So, and Biggs is always a treat. So if y'all, all these things that we've done in the last couple months are on our website. So feel free to go back and check it out if you need some snooze material or whatever you need, but we got it on our website. Let's think. It was a slow week for me. I took some time off, so I apologize for not having a ton today, but we took the kids out of town for a little change of scenery, which was healthy for us all. Anything going on with y'all? Anything that we need to know about? Anybody hearing anything good? Anybody want to share anything? Vince, what's going on at the hospital? Anything? All right. Oh, anybody else got anything for this morning?
Yeah, Carl, could you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
I had you on mute. I had you on mute.
That's okay. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
How things?
Things are going well at Prisma. Of course, we're continuing to deal with the pandemic. We've increased our community testing sites. We're out at St. Andrews Park this morning from 9 until 3. Tomorrow we'll be at Harbison West School. As you can imagine, the more testing you do, the more positives are going to show up. And that is occurring. We're still maintaining, trying to keep people out of the hospital unnecessarily. For instance, I got a call last night from someone whose husband was being transported to the hospital and she didn't understand why she could not go in. But we have maintained the policy and the practice to keep people out of the hospital unnecessarily. So, and by and large, the public understands and appreciates that. Still recommending social distancing, wearing masks when you're in public. Make sure that we're doing the things that need to be done that we know that are effective. While testing is critical and important, and we're trying to test 2% of the state's population, it's still important that we do the preventive measures to keep us safe and sound. That's the main thing that we think. So still going along and maintaining. So thanks for asking, Carl.
Yeah, good. There was a question. The volunteer program's still on hold, if I hear correctly, correct?
To my knowledge, everything is on hold. We should be getting back to some sense of normalcy, in the next week or two, next few weeks, I should say. But right now, as long as the numbers continue to increase, and again, you'll see increased numbers with increased testing. But let me this is a personal point. Keep in mind that if you do take a test, that test really is for that moment. Right. And so some people have taken tests and then they've let their guard down. But that test basically gives you a status for that moment. And so you still have to be careful. And that's why I think Dr. Linda Bell's recommendations, to practice the preventive things that we know, continuing to do social distancing, and in fact, I read an article in USA Today that said, and I had never thought about this, but they did not recommend wearing gloves when you're out and about. Now, for instance, if you go into a store and you wear gloves, when you come out of that store, you should put them in the trash can right there. Don't even take them back in your car, and certainly don't take them into your house. I was looking at a national news story, and a reporter who ended up getting the COVID virus, he believes that he got it through his eyes, believe it or not. Yeah. And so I'm glad that I wear glasses, and I would encourage you to wear some eyewear when you're out in public. Now, that's what he said. I'm not suggesting that that's the case. That was his own assessment. But we still need to do all the things that we need to do to protect ourselves and to practice the safe and preventive things that we can do in order to stay safe.
Yeah, I agree. On that point, let me make a couple observations. As I've traveled up and down 95 the last week, there's a lot of disparity between what some folks in Columbia are doing versus what are people doing in Florida, in Georgia. But I would encourage you, seeing a lot of businesses require masks, and listen, it is a lot of private businesses have the right to require that to get into their place of business. It is enforceable in those private places. So we're all going to have to. I don't like them. I hate them, quite frankly. But they are a necessity, and they're keeping people healthy. And so if you've got them, again, Joe Wilson was kind enough to provide the chamber and some small businesses masks last week. If you're in need of masks, let us know. We'll see where we can look out for you. But they are going to be important as we go forward, because I think, especially with the University of South Carolina announcing this week that anybody on campus is going to be required to wear a face mask beginning Monday, as a matter of fact. And so they are. The university is going to start seeing students sometime this summer. They are going to have some on-campus people this summer, which is great for those that just recapping. But anybody visiting campus, anybody living on campus, anybody working on campus is going to be required to wear a face mask. So I just saw Curiosity Coffee has someone that makes masks and leaves them in a plastic by donation box. Oh, that's great. Curiosity Coffee is good coffee. So, all right. Anybody else I can just throw on? Anything else that we need to know as far as, I see Bryant Davis, who chairs our diplomats, but also with the Richland County Administration's Office. Bryant, I hope you're doing well. Anything you want to comment on Richland County? He may be on.
Yeah, I'm doing that because I've got 3 kids in here with me, and
good for you.
Here. But council's going through budget session now, and I'm sure, as you guys heard with the city, it's just going to be a process of figuring out how to make those adjustments responsibly for constituents of the city and of the county. And so council is going through that at this point now. We still do have some funding left in our small business grants and nonprofit program. So if you guys are a small business that's located in the county or a nonprofit, please feel free to share that with others, as we want to definitely make sure that we're able to help people in this time.
Great. Thanks a bunch.
Awesome.
Nice job, Dad. How about JP? JP's got some news from Spectrum.
Good morning, everyone. Spectrum Business has rolled out a recovery offer for all small to medium businesses. Any new customer that's coming on or starting a business or looking to reduce the cost from their current provider, we're offering free install and free first month service right now. I'll put my contact info in the chat for anybody. Please reach out if you or you know anybody that might be interested in this or it might help them. In the few days that we've rolled this out, I've been able to help some clients very successfully that will help them keep some people employed or keep money in their pocket. So we're seeing to do what we can do best. And also, if you are having some of your employees start working from home and their bandwidth needs upgrade, I can also assist with a business account at their homes with the same offer. So just wanted to put that out there. I hope everyone's doing well.
Great. One other thing, we're going to see a lot of folks start re-entry into going back to work on Monday. A lot of businesses that had scheduled June 1st. Large number also are going to start the process June 8th. I'm hearing a lot. They're going to be allowing employees back in waves, and so they'll start as on Monday. But so a lot more traffic, a lot more business as usual starting, or what was usual back on Monday. So let me make sure no more comments. All right, we're going to keep this short today. I appreciate very much. Oh, let me mention one thing. We've got Beth Bernstein coming on. We're going to have a virtual issues meeting on Tuesday at 8 a.m. back to normal time since people are going back to work. But Beth Bernstein's going to join us, talk about what's going on at the SC House. I have a sinking suspicion we may talk election stuff and Richland County Election Commission. That may be fun conversation to have. But anyway, listen, enjoy this rainy Friday. I hope you are, hope y'all are staying safe. Hope business is good for everybody. If we can do anything at the chamber, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to help in any way. And we look forward to catching up with y'all next week. Please join us for the issues committee. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to call. Have a good weekend.